job postings.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
All right, great friends. What's happening today is Thursday. It is February 9th. We are just getting onto the airwaves of 1090. We're just getting onto the stream of YouTube. We are getting onto all the different audio podcast platforms. And tonight we'll be on TV. I want to start off today's show by just saying to everybody who hit me up, and I mean everybody, from Louie to Juliana and everybody in between that's part of the Great Friends community, thank you for your outreach yesterday. A lot of you were checking in on me going, are you okay? Something happened. You left the show so abruptly yesterday. Yeah, unfortunately, in the final segment of yesterday's broadcast, I had an emergency that just happened. And I'm like, guys, I got to go. So thanks to Browner and Grande for filling. And thanks to everybody who listens and watches for your concern. Much love to all of you. I love you and I appreciate you. Everybody has a real life. You know, I mean, everybody has a real life. And I remember when I first got into the radio business, I remember some consultant told me, never go on the radio and say things like, oh, I'm exhausted today, because nobody wants to hear how tired you might be. People tune in because, you know, they're out there working hard and they might be tired, but they don't want to hear that from you. You know what I say? That's nonsense. I say when you are, everybody has real life problems, you know, and sometimes they surface even on the air. And I think that when you share those kinds of things, it kind of tells somebody on the other side, on the receiving side, oh man, I'm not alone. You know, like he got the same kind of problems that I got. You know, I look at him and I think, oh, hey, look, he's on the radio. He's been on the radio 20 years. Life must be perfect. It's not. It is not. So thanks for everybody for checking in. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'm not BSing you when I tell you that every day I come here to get back on the air because I feel like we got our relationship and I feel like I got to do my part in it. And so again, I just really appreciate you guys. Grande, Brown, man, it's been a weird week because normally in sports talk radio in particular, and I get it now, sports radio itself is like only a small part of what we do because we got TV and we got radio and YouTube is home base and audio podcast is where we get to see how many people really are listening, where they are, et cetera. But in sports radio, when you're just in sports radio, this is normally a week you go to the Super Bowl, not so much because it's great content, but really more because it's a convention for sports radio people. I got into my car early this morning. I turned on Sirius. I turned on Mad Dog. And every single person who stopped by as a guest, the interview started with, hey, welcome to the show. What are you here to promote? And once that person got done with, I'm promoting this product, I'm promoting this service, whatever, they was like, okay, great. Now can we talk about some other things? And I've always thought that was the way to do it. And I'm going to tell you, Browner, today's Thursday, bro. Still zero FOMO. As a matter of fact, you'll love this. You ready? I got a message from one of my buddies who is out there on Radio Row. And he said this to me. I'm looking for here he says, he goes, in the last 5 minutes, I've seen Joe Montana, Justin Fields, Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Michael Strahan, and Gronk. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. They're all walking around. But if you didn't have them booked through some PR agent long in advance, you're not going to do anything other than see them as they walk around with their giant entourage. So Brown, I got zero FOMO. Alex, I'll be curious if you do. Gentlemen, good afternoon. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com, and we're just underway. What do you say, guys?
Oh, Browner doesn't want to talk today?
Browner just sitting
I'm
there.
reading. I was reading stuff. Look, man.
What are you reading? I'm
Not
curious.
listening to you at all, dude.
Yeah, well, because I was just rambling, so I don't blame him.
Nah, man, listen, I try not to, everybody's got things going on, so I try not to be, oh, me too. Like, I had to go to court yesterday too, and I forgot about it. So, yeah, we all have things. But I was reading the details on the Darvish contract. Sorry. I think what we should be talking about today is the dysfunction of the Lakers. Here's why. I know that sounds like, what are you talking about? The Lakers traded for Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley slept with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, Larissa Pippen. You know who plays for the Lakers? Scottie Pippen Jr. Hey,
Relax with the plays for the Lakers.
Even when they do something good,
He's a
they
member
cause
of their G
dysfunction.
League team.
Listen, Scottie Pippen Jr. gonna be on that roster. Can you imagine being on a team when you go in the locker room, some guy who's banging your mom also comes in the locker room who's not your dad? You know how weird
Wait,
that's
just
gonna
time
be?
out. We need details on this. So yesterday,
I got him, baby. I got him.
Okay, all right. So here's and this is another thing. This is why I'm not FOMOing all over myself about not being at the Super Bowl, because the NBA trade deadline, which happened earlier today, that thing is crazy. And Alex, for years, you tried to get me into the NBA by saying to me, "You're missing it, dude. It's not about basketball. It's about the drama off the floor." And you finally got me roped in on all of this. Yesterday, when the Lakers traded Russell Westbrook, which, by the way, I know many people wanted Russell Westbrook traded a long time ago. I actually was rooting for him to stay because I like the drama that he provides. But what happened 2 nights ago during the LeBron game, on a night where everybody is celebrating LeBron, Russell Westbrook isn't celebrating LeBron. Russell Westbrook is fighting with coaches, you know? And so at some point there is a breaking point, and the Lakers are like, he got to go for whatever we can get. And to me, the headline was Russ is gone and D'Angelo Russell is coming back. You mentioned Malik Beasley. I say who he play for. You know a story that I don't know.
Mhm.
Alex, do you know this whole story about Malik Beasley and Scottie Pippen's ex-wife? And do you know this or not?
Yep.
Okay. So Browner, then do me the favor of explaining it in detail, because you say we should talk about the Lakers and their dysfunction. I would say that while the Lakers are trying to make moves to get themselves better, not only did Kyrie come into the Western Conference and had a nice game last night in his first game playing for Dallas, who beat the Clippers, but with the news late last night of Kevin Durant being traded from Brooklyn to Phoenix, the Lakers can make all the moves they want to make. But as Kyrie comes into the West and as KD comes into the West, while the West seems quote unquote wide open, I don't think the Lakers can do anything with those two guys coming in. And again, I think Kyrie will eventually infect the Dallas locker room.
Mm-hmm.
But if KD gets healthy, look out for Phoenix. And so the Lakers may have improved their roster, but where are they really going?
Listen, I'm finally ready to listen to Alex. I never do. I'm going to listen to him on this point. The Lakers are in 13th place, man. They're in the Alex has been saying this the entire year. I've been ignoring it because it's fun. But a fact that he's been saying, they're not good. They're not good. And D'Angelo Russell is a good player. He's not a difference maker. He can make open shots. True. But he can't play any defense. I like Malik Beasley. He can make open shots. He can't play any defense. They made space for Vanderbilt by trading Thomas Bryant, who was very good for them. The Lakers have the thing about trading guys who are effective for their roster. So I don't know what you have in these guys with this roster makeup. But at the end of the day, they're in 13th place, and you got to think AD's going to get hurt again, because that's what he does. LeBron's going to take a couple of days off because he just became the all-time scoring leader in NBA history. No matter how determined he is to make the playoffs, you're way back, and the teams in front of you are getting better. So, again, the Lakers have been losing games to teams where you go, how'd they lose that game? Like to Oklahoma City, who has a better record than them. They keep doing that. And then the FOMO thing for you, again, I can't repeat this again. You shouldn't have FOMO. You witnessed one of the greatest sports moments in the history of the NBA. You watched an unbreakable record get broken. You were there for that. If you still had FOMO after that for anything, I would think you had an addiction. I really think you have a FOMO addiction. But luckily you don't, because you don't have it. They'd be like, oh.
When you said addiction and you said addiction, I actually didn't know what you were going to say after the addict part of addiction.
a dictionary.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, the NBA stuff, we'll talk about that. Alex, you got an opening statement here on your Lakers?
Yeah, it's nothing to do with Scottie Pippen Jr. and his whatever.
Good for
Who
me.
cares? Cut him.
Oh, I do.
Cut him.
What?
Who cares? Who is he? Who is
Who's
he?
Max Christie?
Max Christie actually
he was
plays. Scottie
Yeah.
Pippen Jr. is a G leaguer. Who cares?
Good. Better.
Who cares?
He's better.
And Malik Beasley. Who cares? Like, whatever. You guys are missing the entire point. Russell
so
Westbrook
mad.
is gone.
He's so mad.
Throw a parade. Russell Westbrook is gone. Figueroa should be packed right now with people out there. People out there should be burning their zero jerseys. Oh wait, nobody bought any because it's Russell Westbrook.
Russell, see, yeah, listen, man. Y'all took Russell Westbrook for granted. He
No.
played hard. He played hard every night. He wanted to win. He competed.
Oh, he played hard.
All right.
Oh, give him his flowers. He
Okay.
played hard.
Okay.
What
All
a
right.
competitor. He's an ultra competitor. He plays so hard.
Okay.
He plays so hard.
Okay.
Wait till he goes to the Clippers and comes back and beats the Lakers.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've already heard it all. He's going to end up in Chicago and average a triple-double on a crappy team. That's what's going to happen.
What you got to do this? What are you doing? What are you doing?
God, I hope
What
that
are you
happens.
doing?
That'd be
I've
fun.
already read
That'd
it.
be fun.
I've
We
already,
ain't
he's going to
gotta-
get bought out. He's going to get bought out in Utah. He's going to go to Chicago.
Who? Hey, listen, don't do that. Don't do
Why?
that.
You don't want
Don't do
a
that.
competitor? Don't you want a guy that plays hard night in, night out?
We got our own problems right now. Okay? We trying to fix our own problems right
Wait,
now.
now
Don't
he's a
come,
problem.
Don't come in with that.
Now he's a problem.
No, I'm saying we
you're
have our own
undervaluing.
problem. We
You're
have our own
undervaluing
problem.
and
If the
underestimating
Chicago
Russell
Bulls,
Westbrook.
okay, let me address your question. If the Chicago Bulls were to get Russell Westbrook, I would be immensely happy. I would be immensely happy because he's a great player and he's a Hall of Famer. And if you can get one of those in your organization on a roster like that, I think he can add to that roster into that organization. Now, to your point about the Los Angeles Lakers, people think that this is going to be an addition by subtraction. You're
I do.
going to fall
100%.
flat on your face because
Where are we
what
going to
Russell-
go? 14th?
Yeah, well, you can't go below Houston.
Exactly,
Yeah,
dog.
So that's
exactly,
true.
dog. Exactly,
fair.
dog.
That's
That's
fair.
what I'm saying. At the
you're right.
end of the
So-
day, and I will say addition by subtraction, because at the end of the day,
there
what
it
could
is.
happen? What could happen?
Well, right. I mean,
What's
Browner,
gonna
here's
happen?
the thing. Right. Are they going to get worse? I mean, that's kind of, I guess that's the point, is are they going to get worse? So let me do this. We will get into a lot of stuff because this is a very interesting time in sports where it is Super Bowl week. And yet maybe it's just us. Maybe it's just people in Southern California. Maybe people in Philadelphia and Kansas City are the two cities that are completely consumed and obsessed with what's going on with Super Bowl week. It's the first time I can ever remember in like nearly 30 years where Super Bowl, for whatever reason, was not front and center, most important sports story of the week. So I want to get to that
Super Bowl's
at some
not
point
even
today, but
on people's radars, I feels like.
right. So, but hold on one second. What I really want to just make sure we speak about here in the opening segment of today's broadcast is this Yu Darvish story, because yes, the Lakers' dysfunction is interesting and dramatic, but let's bring it home here for a second and let's talk about the news from earlier today about Yu Darvish. If you're just getting with us, we are in the 7 Mile Casino studios. 7milecasino.com is the website. And if you're looking for a great place this weekend to watch the Super Bowl while playing blackjack or poker or eating a great brunch or lunch at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, 7 Mile Casino could be the place for you. When I saw the story this morning about Yu Darvish getting a 6-year, $108 million contract extension, I don't know about you guys, but my first question was, how old is he? Because I knew that he was definitely older. Yu Darvish is 36 years old. He just signs a 6-year extension that is somewhere in the neighborhood of about $18 million a year. If I'm Yu Darvish, this is an amazing thing for me, because the likelihood of Yu Darvish playing until he's 42, it just doesn't seem all that likely. But on the other hand, it's not out of the question, hardly. I mean, when you look at some of these older guys, I mean, look at these guys that the Mets have signed, and you look at the ages of these guys and you're going, wow, these guys are making $25, $30 million. They're 40.
25,
Max
30.
Scherzer is
25, 30. Max Scherzer's 38.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Max Scherzer's pushing 40, and I'm trying to remember,
Right.
Justin Verlander.
There you go, Justin Verlander.
Justin
How
Verlander
old
is
is
going to
he?
be making 35. No, excuse me. Hold on. Justin Verlander is going to be making $43 million when he's 42 years old.
Yep.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. For Yu Darvish, this is an amazing deal. You just signed a $108 million contract, and we all know baseball contracts. He getting that money whether he plays or he doesn't play. But secondly, Yu Darvish, in my opinion, did something. I mean, to me, that is the hometown discount. Yu Darvish, if he were in the open market and somebody wanted to give him a 2-year contract, he's probably more of a $25 million a year pitcher. He gave the Padres the commitment of 6 years. Whether he makes it there or not is immaterial. He gets $18 million a year, which is below market value, in my opinion.
Yep.
And the reason he does something like it's the trade-off. I'll take less, even though it's a massive amount of money, for a longer period of time. And if by chance Yu Darvish, let's just say 2 years from now, is no longer the guy he was this past season, and the Padres decide we got to try and move him out of here, in 2 years, Yu Darvish at $18 million, assuming he's healthy, nobody's going to be afraid of that contract, because if he were a number 3 or a number 4 2 years from now, $18 million is still palatable.
Yeah.
So I think this is an amazing move for the Padres. I think it's an incredible move for Yu Darvish. And I think it comes off as looking very unselfish by you, and it comes off looking very smart by the Padres. What do you guys think about this?
I think we're going to really figure out what baseball is going to look like, and it's going to take a little while because there's a lot of dudes getting signed till they're 40 plus years old. A whole lot of dudes. And what we've seen so far, Albert Pujols, Robinson Cano, didn't work out so good. So I think that we're approaching a different level of athlete. Obviously, when you look at Albert Pujols and you look at Fernando Tatis, they're a little bit different as far as athleticism goes. But Albert Pujols, back when he was in his 20s, he was very much a different player. My point is that there's a lot of guys that we're going to get sample size from. Verlander being the number 1 guy because he's going to turn 40 this year. Scherzer's 38 already. He's going to be 39. Darvish turns 37 in August. I think that it's something that baseball fans, we're just going to have to get used to. There's going to be guys that are big names that are signed till they're 40. It is what it is.
For me, I think that this is good for both parties, like Scott, what you said. I think this also, because I think Yu Darvish is going to retire a Padre. Because this makes me think of John Smoltz. As John Smoltz got older, John Smoltz just went and became one of the best closers in baseball. I think Yu Darvish has the versatility and the way he takes care of his body. He will be able to transition to a different part of the rotation. Now, he may not be the number 1 guy in 3 years, but he can come in and give you an inning 4 times a week. And I think that's really the value in this contract. When you are getting,
even before we get there, let's really talk about the importance of this window that they're in the next 2 years. That's what really matters right now.
That's what they paid for.
While you have Juan Soto, while you have probably going to have Machado, Tatis, everybody's here for the next 2 years. You just locked in Darvish to be part of that going forward. Musgrove, Martinez, they chose Darvish over Blake Snell. That's evident. Blake Snell doesn't have Blake Snell doesn't have a good decision. Contract. I agree.
I think I like Blake Snell.
People may not agree with this, and trust me, I've already heard from Dodger fans. Yu Darvish is an ace in the National League. And I looked it up. Top number 3 in wins in the National League, top 10 ERA, number 6 in innings pitched, number 7 in strikeouts, all in the National League. That's your guy. That's Yu Darvish. That's worth $18 million a year. That's
remember Musgrove's making 20.
Right.
You know?
And he's a number 2. You guys know how much I love Blake Snell. They made the right decision. They did. Yeah. He's far more dependable, and he's been able to, again, at different stops, be great. Not saying Blake Snell hasn't, but Blake Snell's a 6th inning guy. Yu Darvish has shown you the ability to get to the 7th inning, and at points in his career, get to the 8th inning. And that's what they need.
This year, he had a streak of 19, 22 games in a row of pitching at least 6 innings this year.
Yep.
I think it's a smart move because Browner and me touched on it yesterday after you bounced, Scott, that after this year, you got Joe Musgrove and Nick Martinez. And then after that, you don't really know. And you don't even know what really Nick Martinez is as a starter. So I think it's smart to lock up another guy that you can trust, another guy that has a bunch of pitches that's not just heat, and a guy that's been there, done that. He hasn't won a ring, but he's been in the biggest situations.
Let's take our hats off to the Padres for doing smart business. This is smart business by them. And by the way, them cutting more checks looks good on the open market.
Oh, man.
Well,
Daddy
listen,
Fat Stacks is the nickname I'm seeing on Twitter for Peter Seidler.
yeah. Well, Peter's taking a lot of the credit, but I'll just tell you right now, and deservedly so. But behind Peter are a lot of wealthy people
Oh, it gotta
that
be.
continue
Gotta
to pump
be.
money
Gotta be.
into continue to pump money into this
This is
organization
like Jeff
because
Bezos spending.
But the thing is, if the Padres are a stock, they are the best stock right now in baseball.
Easily. This
But-
is Jeff
but-
Bezos spending, dude.
yeah, they're high right now. I mean, they're a stock that has just continued to grow and grow and grow, and you don't want to see
You hope they're
that
Apple
stock.
and not GameStop.
Yeah,
Ooh,
right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me hit this break. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Lots to get to today. More on Darvish, these crazy NBA trades. And oh, yeah, does anybody realize the Super Bowl is this Sunday? We'll get there. This is Kaplan and Crew. Stick around, everybody.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
When someone you know has COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, things can progress very quickly, making them feel hopeless. But it doesn't have to be like this.
See, Mom, this place is going to be great for you. They're going to help you breathe better.
Pulmonary rehabilitation at La Mesa Rehab focuses on patient education and training. We use special therapies to improve your lungs, clear out mucus, and keep you out of the hospital. Pulmonary rehab is Medicare approved. Call now to see if you qualify or ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab today.
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray-Lampert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
Surf Soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, and we do that here mostly in San Diego with our 1,000 kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
PNC Bank sponsorship helps the kids here. One, it is to continue to help fund facilities like this where the kids can come play soccer. Two, it is really through our scholarship program. There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships to give an opportunity for kids who are low to moderate income to play on one of the elite teams in the U.S.
Having a partner like PNC who is community oriented and cares about the development of youth in the community is amazing because our missions are completely aligned and we're both driven by helping develop kids, and in this case through sport in San Diego.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Listen to The Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and themightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Hey, everybody, it's Scott Kaplan from Kaplan and Crew. And with me right now is Rick Slider. He's the CEO of MedCline, which, by the way, is a pillow that is going to change your life. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm telling you right now. Rick, how you doing, man? Where do we find you today?
Scott, great to talk to you. I'm in sunny San Diego, a place you're pretty familiar with.
Yeah, I'm glad it's sunny out. I see the Padres stuff right over your head. That looks pretty cool. And some Beastie Boys. You got some cool stuff behind you.
We had a different sports team up on the wall for a while that had to be taken down, say half dozen years ago. But the Padres still flies prominently on the wall.
I love it, man. Hey, if you could, while we have this time together, can you tell everybody the backstory of MedCline and how you guys have become such a big San Diego company selling all over the world and what the deal is with the MedCline systems?
Sure. MedCline started here in San Diego, started by a radiologist whose primary practice was at UCSD. And he was a longtime sufferer of heartburn and acid reflux. Tried everything, tried diet changes, was taking medication, proton pump inhibitors or PPIs that a lot of people take. But he was looking for a natural way to reduce his heartburn symptoms. And he found through trial and error that when he slept in an incline and when he slept on his side, his heartburn and acid reflux symptoms would dissipate. Because he's a doctor, he wanted to make sure that this just wasn't by chance. And so he set up some clinical studies using a system that he designed and patented. We got clinical trial results, found that there was a strong reduction in the esophageal acid that would take place during the night, reducing his symptoms. And with that, decided to create a product called MedCline and commercialized it a few years ago. And that is really how our company began, with his personal desire to stop his heartburn and reflux symptoms.
That's amazing. It really is amazing. Like when you have something wrong, you're like, I'm going to fix this problem. But you know what's amazing to me is that acid reflux is a problem that obviously a lot of people have. But for me, I have shoulder pain, chronic shoulder pain from the way I sleep, because I sleep with my arm over my head and then my pillow in between. So when I got my first MedCline, I didn't realize there's the reflux relief pillow, but there's the shoulder relief pillow. And it's completely changed everything for me. My shoulder pain has gone so far down because I'm no longer sleeping like this. I'm like underneath. And tell me about the shoulder pillow, please.
Sure. First of all, I'm so glad to hear that it's working for you. That's fantastic. Secondly, as we brought MedCline to the marketplace, we found that there were a number of individuals that benefited from therapeutic side sleeping beyond just those suffering from heartburn or GERD. And the primary use is for shoulder pain. And the reason I think people like you have been so comfortable with the MedCline is because of our patented arm pocket. When you try and sleep on your side and you have shoulder pain, you run the risk of your shoulder getting frozen, exacerbating pain that you might be feeling, whether it's due to rotator cuff, general shoulder soreness. And so our incline has a patented arm pocket that allows you to either rest comfortably on your elbow or to slide through, sounds like what you do, slide your arm through the system so you can stay at an elevation and sleep comfortably on your side throughout the night. And today, here in 2023, our shoulder product is actually our top seller. It surpassed those that suffer from heartburn and acid reflux, simply because there's more people with shoulder injuries across the country. And we're glad that we're able to help you out.
It's awesome. Hey, we don't have a lot of time, but in the last minute, would you just tell everybody how the MedCline products, though, have gone viral, particularly on TikTok. Just give us like a 30 or 60 seconds about what has happened.
You know, I'd love to say that I'm a marketing genius here, Scott, but really it's just about excited consumers sharing the benefits they get of MedCline. And it's amazing what happens when people finally can get a good night's sleep, how they're so excited to share that information. And recently, we've always been a part of social media, but recently we've kind of found a niche within TikTok. I didn't know that healthy sleep TikTok was a subgenre, but it really is. And with a few different posts, we've seen over just in the last 30 days, over 10 million people exposed to our MedCline products. So we're excited about the virality that this has created. I think it's in part because we have a 95% customer satisfaction rate. We know we can help people get a good night's sleep. It does take a while to adjust and sleep differently. But we're excited to see kind of the viral nature of our product grow, and we're excited to help out as many customers as possible.
It's awesome. I want to encourage everybody who's watching right now, go to medcline.com, medcline.com, look at the different products, know you're supporting a San Diego company, and I encourage everybody, sleep better with our friends from MedCline.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
An ADU is accessory dwelling unit, and it's become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those with all types of lung disease and long COVID symptoms.
Surf Soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, and we do that here mostly in San Diego with our 1,000 kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
PNC Bank's sponsorship helps the kids here. One, it is to continue to help fund facilities like this where the kids can come play soccer. Two, it is really through our scholarship program. There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships to give an opportunity for kids who are low to moderate income to play on one of the elite teams in the U.S.
Having a partner like PNC who is community oriented and cares about the development of youth in the community is amazing because our missions are completely aligned and we're both driven by helping develop kids, and in this case through sport in San Diego.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, great friends. What's going on? Today is Thursday. It is February 9th. This is Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. I want to say what's up to all of our 1090 listeners. I know you guys are out there because you're hitting me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Shoot, I'm even hearing from people on TikTok, which I barely ever use. But I know that you guys are out there tuning in your car on the radio. I want to say to all of our television viewers on Cox, I know you guys are out there too, because it's interesting how many people have cut the cord and don't have cable television anymore. And yet, on the other hand, there are still so many people that do, that I hear from people, hey, I saw the show the other night on Channel 4 San Diego. So want to say what's going on to all of our TV viewers who are watching tonight on Channel 4 San Diego and Channel 4 Santa Barbara, and everybody in between in Orange County and LA, all of our audio podcasters and all of our YouTubers. You know, guys, I just want to say one thing. We'll get back to the NBA trade deadline, the Yu Darvish extension, maybe even a little bit of Super Bowl. But I wanted to ask you guys, it's interesting. I was looking earlier this week when Jason Law had filled in for me on Monday and Tuesday. And I was looking at some of the YouTube stats. And we didn't have like some major drop off in numbers. The great friends who come to the YouTube show and the chatlins who participate, they're coming because there's a community. They're listening or watching, but they're also just participating. So I don't know about you, Alex. I don't know if you noticed any statistical differences, but generally speaking, I felt like even with me being off the air, I felt like between you two guys and Lawhead, who everybody now knows and loves, I think like things kind of remained the same on YouTube. Did you notice anything?
I didn't notice anything, so I guess that's a good sign. I actually,
Right.
I didn't purposely look at it this week. I've been doing clips with Toby. They've done well. Same old for me.
The reason I ask is this. So again, this is Super Bowl week, and the whole sports radio industry is in Arizona for this week. And I've heard from friends who are there over and over and over again. How come you guys aren't here? What's going on? Why aren't you guys here? And a lot of people are like, hey, are you going to come for Vegas next year? Because Vegas is going to be crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think that sounds like something we would probably want to do, is go to Vegas for the first time that the Super Bowl would ever be in Vegas. That to me seems interesting versus this year. We've done Arizona like 5 times in the last 20 years,
Yeah.
We should try and get cousin Nancy's condo like now. We should put a reservation on it now, but she's going to be like, no, dude, sorry. I'm going to the Super Bowl. I'm staying.
Yeah, I'm using it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The reason I bring it up is because it just had me thinking this week, and you guys tell me, how important is radio? Like when we got knocked off radio in 2019, I was obsessed with, we got to get back on radio. The reason being, I heard from so many listeners that would say, what happened to you guys? How come you never got back onto radio? And then I would say, well, dude, who cares? Just go on your phone and use YouTube. And a lot of the people would say to me, no, dude, I just want to get in my car and turn on the radio. So I became obsessed with get back on the radio. Now that we're back on the radio on 1090, and it's been 2+ years, right? I mean, August of 2020. Now that we've been on the radio for 2+ years, I actually wondered to myself, looking at the YouTube stats, how urgent is it in 2023 to be back on radio? Or would things not really be that drastically different if I said to Bill Hagan one day, you know what, man? We're pulling the show off radio. We're just going to be YouTube and audio podcast. And by the way, we're going to curse the way we normally talk in real life. We're going to have, the same number of people that come every day for the YouTube show, or maybe because
Live.
we're not on radio. Say again. Oh, and live. Is that what you said, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah. We could do it live on YouTube. And if you're not on radio, I'm just going to take a guess here. You probably increase your YouTube audience by 30, 40, 50% of people that listen on radio that go, I'm with you guys every day, but now I can't get it on 1090. So I'm going to come over to YouTube, or I'm going to come over to Apple or Spotify. What do you guys, I'm just curious, what do you guys think about that? How important is radio today?
I think it gives the show a level of credibility that on the internet we don't have yet. Because when we get to 10, 15, 20,000 subscribers, now we've built up a level of credibility where everything we does can go viral. we are trying to, advertise, not having radio takes a couple of people out of it. But as far as I'm concerned, in the direction that we're going, that's probably a better move for us because we will get to be able to do more. We'll become more flexible. Like the show's kind of not as flexible as we can be because we are restricted by what we can and can't say and what we can and can't do because of radio rules. But
Yeah, I guess I just wonder, like 7 Mile Casino, for example, part of the great value that they get is having this static sign over my shoulder the entire time. Now they do run commercials on 1090, but how much value, like if you're 7 Mile Casino and I go to them and I say, hey, listen, we're going to take ourselves off radio, are they going to say, fine, we want to reduce our buy by 50%? Are they going to say, we don't care, that's fine, you're still reaching this number of people anyway? We're getting value from you guys. I've been noodling this around a little bit. So anyway, you know me, I can't shut my big mouth. I like to talk about these things on the air. All right, let's get
Out
back to it.
loud.
Yeah, let's get back to it. So you guys tell me, on Thursday, February 9th.
By the way, whenever Alex sits back like that,
Yeah.
he's like, okay, well, I'm not going to talk about this.
Yeah, why is that, Alex?
This is him saying, I don't want to talk about this publicly.
Yeah, why is that,
So
Alex?
he just leans back.
Yep.
I wasn't prepared for this, so I don't have any prepared thoughts in my head.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of
Yeah.
of extemporaneous,
My
conversation.
only thing is like, what is the value of radio? I don't know. Ask your advertisers. That's the only answer that matters to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it
That's so
matters what we
funny.
think. I think it matters what advertisers think.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All
That's
right,
so
listen.
funny.
At the
So
end
speaking
of
of
the day, it's dollar bills. Whatever helps the dollars is what helps the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I should actually, because I do remember going to Tory Holistics when we first were going back on radio. And I said, how much value would you get? And they were like, oh, that'd be great for us because we're opening a place in Mammoth and you guys reach so far north that would be really helpful for us. But if I went back to Tory Holistics today and I said, hey, look, here's our YouTube numbers, here's our audio podcast numbers, and you guys know how much traffic we're driving because everybody uses those promo codes. If we went off radio, just hypothetically, and all of a sudden the drop off was 40%, they might say, well, dude, we're not going to pay as much because you guys went off radio and now there's not as many people coming into the shop. But I don't know what the answers are.
You're freaking out the chatlins right now. Probably
Am
not
I?
the chatlins. Probably freaking
No,
some people out listening right
yeah,
now.
the chatlins are probably like,
Not freaking
dude,
out. They're definitely, Neil is like, oh, what's going on? What does
Neil,
that mean? What does that mean?
Neil, yeah. It doesn't mean anything. It's just, because it's Radio Row this week and because the whole radio industry is at the Super Bowl, not because it's awesome content. The radio industry is there because this is the sports radio convention of the year, and us not going had just these thoughts running around in my mind. I've been listening to Joe Rogan recently. Not a lot, but a little. Like I listened to Joe Rogan and David Portnoy, and it was a 3-hour podcast, and it took me days to hear the entire thing, but the looseness and the flexibility, to use your word, Browner, like it just had me thinking.
No, not that.
Not what?
No.
Not what?
Not that. Not the way they do that. No. I don't think that's our direction.
I don't even know what you're talking about when you say no. That's not. I don't know what you mean.
Dave Portnoy and Joe Rogan.
Yeah, what about him?
You think that we would do that type of product?
No, it's not about what they talked about. It's just about. It's only on Spotify. And Rogan obviously had a monster audience before he moved. All right, listen, it doesn't really matter. Let's keep going. Because when you talk about advertisers, Alex, this is where they get their value. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. So what's the biggest story today? Is the biggest story that the Super Bowl kicks off on Sunday between Philadelphia and Kansas City. I was watching ESPN earlier today, and you would think that they'd be all Super Bowl all the time. No, they were all NBA trade deadline. I think because of the names that are involved. I mean, these are massive organizational changing moves that are being made around the NBA. And then locally
and it's their
here,
product.
It is the NBA is part of the ESPN.
The NBA
product.
ESPN is not airing the Super Bowl.
No, but
They are
ESPN
airing NBA games.
Yeah, but they, look, the relationship between ESPN and the NFL. So, and most people think the NFL is the king of sports anyway. So they're not focusing on the Super Bowl right now and saying, hey, let's do a whole bunch of broadcasts from Super Bowl and have all these people come on that are A-list celebrities that can promote their products. No, they went with the breaking news of the NBA trade deadline. That's what ESPN was going with wall to wall earlier today. So is the story the Super Bowl? Is it the NBA trade deadline? I know hometown local here in San Diego, Yu Darvish, that's a huge deal for Padre fans, especially coming off what happened this past weekend at FanFest. I will give the nod as a person who for my entire broadcast career has been NFL centric. I'm giving the nod to the NBA guys.
You remember when we were in Miami and Kobe tragically passed and the other people, and the entire Radio Row was talking about that. That was it. I think that if we were in Radio Row and you're walking around today in Phoenix in the convention center, everybody's talking about Kevin Durant. I think
Yeah.
when a name of that magnitude gets traded, his caliber and what he's done in the NBA so far, and he gets traded to a legit contender in Phoenix, that is the story. Like, don't get it twisted. If you are a programmer on any network and you weren't at Radio Row, you're talking about Kevin Durant today because that's massive, man. That is huge. That's such a shift of power because we do talk about how crappy the West has been all year
Right.
long, and now two teams got in my opinion, got significantly better on the court.
One. Like I look, man. I like Kyrie Irving as a basketball player. He's gonna blow that team up, and that's not gonna work. Kevin Durant going to the Phoenix Suns. To me, this is Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
This is the only difference is it's built different, but the parts are equally badass. Like Devin Booker is a 25 to 30% point scorer, a guy who also scored 80, 71 points, 80 something points, if I remember correctly. DeAndre Ayton is a former number one pick, and a guy who can get you 15 points, 15 rebounds. And Chris Paul gonna run that show like a maestro. This is perfect for Kevin Durant. This is a perfect mixture of how you would want to construct a basketball team if you were going to trade Kevin Durant. This is absolutely perfect. And no one tell me about the bench because no one plays their bench in the postseason. They play 7, maybe 8 guys. Maybe 8 guys. The 8 guy plays when the 7th guy gets fouls. So stop it with the depth. Get out of here with that.
All right, so let's jump into this.
Get my son's jersey.
This you are because you're gonna get
Bill
a Suns
Hagen will
jersey.
send you one.
Oh, dude, Bill Hagen, who is the owner of 1090.
Oh, hey, Bill Hagen. Listen, I know you got some Suns season tickets, pops. Hook a brother up. I'll find my way out there. You hook me up with a KD jersey. You already got me a Phoenix shirt. I got one in the closet. I might put it on for the next segment. KD,
You know
I'm
what?
coming, baby. I'm on my way too.
You know what we should do? And maybe we should wait till Tuesday of next week, unless you guys think we should do it tomorrow. You guys know Kevin Ray, who is the play-by-play voice of the Phoenix Suns, who we've had on the show before. Remember? You guys
he's gonna be
remember
busy
Kevin?
now.
What's
Suns
that,
in
dude?
4. That's why we had him on.
Oh, dude. No, we didn't have him on because of the Suns in 4 guy, although I'd love to have the Suns in 4 guy. The reason we had Kevin on earlier in the year, remember he did like an NFL broadcast. I think he did the Dallas Cowboys game because he's also the Cowboys broadcaster. And then he hurried up to get back to Phoenix to do a Phoenix Suns preseason game. Remember that?
Yep.
We should get Kevin on to have him analyze from the Suns' perspective. Because one of the interesting stories about Kevin Durant going to Phoenix, it's not just that Durant is leaving Brooklyn, a place where he tried to put together a super team of, hey, this is the coach I want, and hey, this is the other player I want. And man, this thing's been a disaster from the beginning. And once Kyrie was gone, hey, KD, what do you want to do? I'm out of here too.
Well, he requested a trade in the offseason too. Let's not forget. It's not like
That's
he
true,
was
correct.
he wasn't happy to
Correct.
be there either. And I
Right.
told you guys when they made everybody get back in this locker room together, it was going to blow up in their face, and that's exactly what happened. If
Yeah.
we still go, I know so many things have changed since we talked about it, but if we do go to spring training in the planned weekend that we talked about,
Mhm.
Phoenix versus Philadelphia that Saturday in Phoenix.
What was the date on that?
The 24th, 25th, 26th
Mm-hmm.
of March.
Mm-hmm.
Be a fun road trip, friends.
Yeah. It would be fun.
The interesting part, I think Browder said it perfectly. I didn't even I don't know why it was so easy to say it that way, but it really was. I mean, Kevin Durant just joined Golden State again. Like, he literally, that's all he did.
Yes.
He literally just joined Golden State again. Like Phoenix with a healthy Devin Booker, Phoenix is the best team in the West. I mean, they were already in the finals, last year, 2 years ago?
It was last year, wasn't it?
They've been the 1 seed. They were the 1 seed 2 years in a row. So it's, I mean, if everyone's healthy, they should easily be the favorites coming out of the West.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. But let me ask this question here, just leapfrogging forward.
Yeah.
If Kevin Durant has come to the West and Kyrie Irving has come to the West, and I'm with you, Browner, the history suggests that Kyrie Irving will be a dick. And
He will,
that,
but not this year.
Yeah.
Well, okay, see, that's a good
He
question
will,
because
but not
He can't help
this year.
himself. He
He
can't,
needs to
he can't
get
help
paid.
himself.
He's got to
right.
get paid.
See, he has to get paid. And I will just say one thing. Last night, Kyrie Irving, to me, and I watched only a very little bit of this Dallas Clippers game last night, only because it was his first game with the Mavericks. He looked like he was having fun. He looked like he was being loose, like he was playing loose. Just like I'm sure certain players would like to get rid of him or get rid of Russ, and you get that attitude out of the locker room. The attitude guy, once he leaves that locker room where there's all this stress and pressure and drama and everything else, maybe he goes to a new environment and he feels a lot better. I think that if you're Kyrie Irving, you exactly what you're saying, Alex, you better be on your best behavior and you better play your best ball so that you can get the 4-year max deal that you're looking for. And I think the one thing, I'll just say one thing. If there's one owner who I would put my faith in to control this, I'd give my faith to Cuban more so than Joseph Tsai or Jeannie Buss or Steve Ballmer. If there's one owner who's a rich enough and big enough personality and famous enough, if you will, to deal with a Kyrie Irving, my money would be on Cuban. If it could be done, my money would be on Cuban.
You just named 4 bad owners. Like, you just named 4 bad owners. Now,
Ballmer's bad?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that Miami could handle something like Kyrie Irving because that organization is strong from top to bottom. I think the Celtics, well, you know what? Wrong. That already failed. I maybe Miami, maybe San Antonio, but they suck so bad now. Like,
I think
you
you guys
need
are proven why it's no one can.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes, like, you just can't. Like, sometimes
Right,
that
but-
talent, sometimes the whatever Antonio Brown, you know? It's like,
Yep,
like
yep.
you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just
Yep.
can't be reined in.
But if there's
Yep.
one guy that I would bet on to possibly be able to manage this, possible, I'd put my money on Cuban before anybody else. But here's
It's funny
what
because
I
I
was getting
actually
at.
put him. I actually genuinely, not to be contradicting to you, I feel like Cuban is the worst guy to do this because
Yep.
Cuban
Yeah,
is
me
so
too.
outspoken and
Mhm.
so like not gonna stand up for most of this stuff. That's what the
Yep.
energy he gives off. Like if
Yep.
if Kyrie starts with anti-Semitic stuff again, you think like Cubans would be like,
Gone.
what? Like I just don't see Cuban putting up with it.
No,
Gone.
I see, but that's my point. Is that everybody else seemed to have enabled Kyrie Irving? Could you imagine Kyrie Irving telling Mark Cuban, "No, I won't meet with you"?
Yes.
Yeah,
But yeah, yes,
but
yes.
how does Mark Cuban deal with that in a better way than the way Joseph
No.
Tsai dealt with that?
I thought
No?
Joseph Tsai handled it perfectly.
Joseph
I
Tsai was
thought
the first
Joseph
person that
Tsai-
told him no.
Right. We talked about this yesterday when you left, Scott.
Yes, he was the
Yeah.
first person that told him no, and this is what you got.
Yeah.
This is what you got because he was the
yeah.
first person that told him no.
I thought Joseph
Yeah.
Tsai. I don't think it's up to the owner. I really don't. I think Kyrie will be Kyrie, and if he decides to stay in line because he needs to get paid this year, that's what will happen. If he decides to be a free thinker and start tweeting stuff out and saying whatever, and hey, I need a day off because I need to sage my body, and I need to do this and I need to do that, like he's gonna do it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who
Right.
his owner is.
Well, but I want to. Here's what I want to just make this jump though. You ready? And I'll get to it in a second. Now that Kyrie's in the West, and let's just assume for a moment he stays with Dallas, just for argument's sake. And now that Kevin Durant is in the West, 2 stars have moved into the Western Conference where the Lakers were already bad. And I just want to throw this out there. How long does LeBron stay with the Lakers now? It's just a question. I'll get to it in 1 second. Hey, before we do, I want to recommend to everybody who's listening and watching PenskeSanDiego.com. PenskeSanDiego.com. That's the website to use. If you're going to buy or lease a car, new car, certified pre-owned, whatever, Penske has 12 dealerships. You can find them all, by the way, on their website, PenskeSanDiego.com. They've got 12 dealerships. They represent 9 brands. And right now in San Diego County, over 1,000 vehicles throughout the entire Penske family. You want it to be fast. You want it to be efficient. You want it to be easy. Go to this website, PenskeSanDiego.com. They make it fun too. It's a whole new way to buy a car. PenskeSanDiego.com. All right. Will LeBron stay with the Lakers after these moves? I want to get to that story coming up.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit murraylampert.com.
This is a huge wall. I'm sure it presented some challenges.
You're right, Sarah. And what it was in the model we noticed there it was too much wood. This was supposed to be clad. And with the beautiful stairs and railings, we realized that we need to come up with a different finish. So we used these reglets that are metal with the drywall, and it gave it this grid look that also matches up with the beams.
Wow, that came out beautiful. If you want to see how they conquered more design challenges, check out Our Family, Your Home.
Sponsored by The Barnes Firm. Proud to support Black History Month. Car crash? Call 1-800-8-million for a free consultation.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
Sip Wine and Beer is a wine and beer tasting room here in Escondido. Started it in 2015. I wanted to start a business and I wanted to create a space where we could talk about wine. And so when you come here, you get to veer off the beaten path and try brands that you do not get anywhere else.
It's a blend of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
Fast forward to 7 years, I've been able to be sustainable in doing that, and that is now evolved to Fresh Glass.
Denise Clark found a passion for winemaking later in life.
We created this docuseries to tell the stories of women and BIPOC innovators in food, beverage, and entrepreneurship that aren't visible in both our society or in mainstream media.
Sponsored by The Barnes Firm. Proud to support Black History Month. Car crash? Call 1-800-8-million for a free consultation.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Kaplan from Kaplan and Crew Tonight here on Cox Your View. Just want to tell everybody that Cox TV home base throughout Southern California. But you can get us on radio on 1090. You can get us on our YouTube channel, all the different audio podcast platforms. And I want to say thank you very much to a San Diego-based company that's selling all over the world. That's MedCline, MEDCLINE, medcline.com. They're going to change the way you sleep. They're our sponsor this month, and we appreciate you guys. Visit medcline.com.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.